Welcome back everybody to Hayes Tech and ROM Reviews. My name is Dave Hayes, and of course this is the channel where we talk about pretty much anything tech. Now if you saw my last video on the Akaso V50 Pro, I kind of just did a quick review or a quick overview of the camera itself. I kind of wanted to give you a 360-degree look at the camera and give you some camera footage from it so you guys could see the differences in the 4K and the 2.7K and of course the 1080p, along with all of the different view aspects that it has. Now on this video we're going to go a little bit deeper. I do want to dive into some of the features that this camera has, so when we come back we are going to talk about the Akaso V50 Pro, but a little further in depth.
And as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe. You hit that notification icon to get a notification of my videos as soon as they're released. That way you don't miss any of them.
Okay, so this time again, like I said, we are going to talk about the Akaso V50 Pro a little bit more in depth. And what I did is I actually took the camera and I put it up on a stand, and we're going to use it as our secondary camera. So the Canon M50 is going to be my primary camera, and the Akaso V50 Pro is going to be my secondary camera. Now, please excuse me if the framing's not 100% perfect. I am a one-man show, and it kind of gets a little tough to do, but I did have Noah help me do a little bit of framing before he had to leave, but he did have to go, and I miss him when he goes because he's like my right-hand man when I do these projects. But back to this. I also have my viewing aspect down to narrow. Remember, this has wide or super wide, wide. I always forget that other one, and then narrow. It has 4 different fields of view, and this one will let you do that in 4K 30, where the GoPro only has wide view in 4K 30. So that's another plus for this camera. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is I have the external microphone hooked up to this, and I wanted you guys to hear what the external microphone sounded like. So, audio test 1 2 3. Audio test 1 2 3. I have the external microphone right here, and this is a proprietary microphone you have to get from Akaso. So we're going to go ahead and go back to my Blue Yeti because I just love the audio out of my Blue Yeti. So what's going to come up in this video is I'm going to show all of the different ranges of video quality that you can shoot with this camera. I'm going to show you all of the additional features it has as far as video add-ons and tweaks and stuff that you can do. I don't want to make this a very long video, but as I said in the past, you guys know that when I do a video, I don't like to cut a lot out. I like to try to stick to the point, and I like to be as thorough as possible. And when I do that, of course, my videos go long. And of course, me blabbing about why my videos go long causes my videos to go longer. It's a never-ending vicious cycle. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and cut to a whole bunch of different camera shots and angles and things like that I did with this camera, and let you guys see all of those different features. And when we're done, we'll come back to me yakking again, and I'll close this video up. Okay, so I have my remote. I'm going to go ahead and hit power off and see if it shuts it off. Okay, I hit the power off function. Nothing's happening. Let me do it again. I'm pressing and holding this time. Nothing's happening. Alright, let me hit record again. Okay, record's working. Hit record again to stop it. It stopped. I want to take a picture. Let me line up this. And it took a picture. Okay, so at least recording and taking a picture is working great. I was also told that I can hook a microphone to this through deeper research, so I'm going to try to figure out how to hook a microphone to this. Alright, so this is a demonstration of this camera in kind of shitty weather. So as you can see, the sky is overcast. You can just barely see the sun peeking through over there. So this is not the perfect conditions to be using a camera. Well, my M50, it would actually look pretty damn good. But for an action camera, you want a lot of sun. So we're going to see how it looks. Now we're heading over to State College, and I'll try to take some shots on the way over there and let you guys see what it looks like. I am also wearing an external microphone right there, and this takes a proprietary microphone, which sucks. Akaso, shame on you, taking GoPro's lead by going with a proprietary mount. Why not just a 3.5mm attachment? That would be awesome. So think about that in your next upgrade. Anyways, we're going to test out the microphone, the external microphone, while we're out and about today. So, oh look, skies are clearing up. Okay, so we are now in the super wide position. So if I were to vlog, this would be our super wide position in 4K. There are 4 positions: super wide, wide, and then one in between to the lowest, which is narrow. So let's go to just regular wide. We are now in the wide setting. Remember, there's super wide, wide, medium, and narrow. Okay, so now we are in the just the wide setting. So this is what it would look like if you were vlogging in the wide setting. So let's go ahead and go to its next narrowest position. Okay, I am now in what's referred to as medium. So you have super wide, wide, medium, and narrow. So this is what it looks like in its medium position. This is perfectly usable for vlogging. I would probably go with the narrow setting, but this is what it is. As you guys can see, I am at the recycle center. So let's go ahead and drop down to the narrow setting. That way you guys can see the difference between all 4. All right, we are back again in the narrow position. Again, this is my pick for vlogging, but that goes to show you all 4 settings, and those positions are in all the different settings in 4K, 2.7, and 1080p, and I think 720. Don't quote me on that. I'm not going to go through each one of them. I'm just going to show you in 4K because that's probably what most of you are going to be using this camera for anyways. So those are all the different angles. That should have gave you a little bit of an idea of the different views that this camera shoots in. It does have the ultra wide, which I think is almost 160 degrees. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to read up on that. And once I find it out, I'll post it up here somewhere. And then it goes to its wide position, and after that it has its, and see, I keep forgetting, I'll write it down right here, the position right above narrow, and then after that it has its narrow position, which is what we're talking in right now. So far I am really digging this camera, and I'm not running with any microphones right now, so the audio that you're hearing is straight out of the Akaso. Now, I did order a microphone for it, and that microphone should be here probably either today or tomorrow. As soon as that microphone gets here, I will plug the microphone in and give you a demonstration of what that sounds like. So let's go ahead and get on with the video. Okay, this is the black and white mode. So this camera has these settings on it where you can switch it to different scene modes, like if you want to add a little flair to your videos. Right now I have it in the black and white mode, which I think is cool. This is probably the one that I would use most if I was going to use it at all. So this is what I would look like if I was shooting in black and white. Okay, I am shooting in the narrow field, 4K 30, and I am shooting in black and white now. So to give you guys an idea of the different levels of effects they give you as far as color goes and stuff like that, this is black and white mode, and I'm shooting 4K 30, and that car in front of you that I'm pointing at is like a lime green. Okay, I figured this would be a good representation to show you the different color modes. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, now this filter is called natural, and this is probably the one I like the best. It basically makes it look very natural. Now I'm looking at the car through the viewfinder, and then I look at the car, and the color tones are really close to what this is. This is natural. Let's go ahead and move to the next one. All right, this effect is called cold,
and it doesn't look that bad. Well, I can really see that image stabilization working. Again, this is called natural. Let's go ahead and move to the next one. Okay, now this is the sepia, or S-E-P-I-A mode. I don't know if sepia or sepia. I really don't know how to pronounce that, but this is what it would look like if you were running this filter on. Now remember, the car right there is a bright lime green. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to the next filter they have. This is a kind of cool one. This one's called negative. I actually like this one too. If you were going to do, you know, you just wanted to have some really cool looking effects, this one would definitely do it. But there you go. There's that car, or there is my wife's car again. So notice the shadow right up to the car. That should be black. Now look how white it is. That's pretty cool. I have to film myself now. Okay, let's go ahead and move to the next one. Now this is the vivid mode. Now what it looks like on the screen, I'm not digging. It looks harsh. So, but this is what it would look like. Vivid kind of punches up the greens, and it just punches it up. Look how blue. Of course that sky looks about right, at least through the screen. But I'm trying to use this car as a standard for you guys to judge the different settings. So let's move to the next one. Okay, same thing, 4K 30. This one is called warm. So you guys get an idea what it looks like. I'm going to keep them all in the narrow setting because I'm just focusing on the car, so it shows the differences in the color variations. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, this filter is called red. Notice it put like a reddish tint onto the car. Alright, let's go to the next one. I think the last ones are like red, green, and blue. So let's go ahead and move to the last ones. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you which one this is. This is the green setting. The car is a lime green, so it really looks green, and so does everything else. Alright, and let's go ahead and switch to the last one. Alright, and this is the last one. This one is the blue setting. Now again, I like either no settings or I like the natural one. So let's go ahead and go back to the standard setting, the one that I've been using for all of the videos. Okay, so now we are on the no setting, so there are no image overlays on this or color overlays. This is what the camera sees without any kind of overlay at all. I actually think this is one of the best, right along there with the natural one, just because this camera actually sees an almost, at least in my opinion, true to color, true to form. My house is a light gray with a deep gold roof because we just had that copper roof put on, and the Buick there is a gray silver, of course my white truck, and the lime green Kia Soul, which my wife just picked up. That is her baby. She loves it. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys that. Those were all the different effects you could add to this. Let's go ahead and move on.
Okay, well, you saw exactly what it looked like when we shot this camera here, which of course is the Akaso V50 Pro, in all of its different video aspects. And I mean black and white, and then you had your sepia, I can't pronounce that right, but then it has a red and a green and a blue that you can put in their hue, and I forget them all, but anyways, I wanted you to see all those things. Also, I wanted to mention that the image stabilization on this camera works right up to the highest level of video recording. Where the GoPro, you can only have super stable image stabilization in 2.7K. This one here will go all the way up to 4K, 30 frames per second, and have good image stabilization. Now, I'm not depending on that now because, of course, I have this set up in a stand, and this is more of a talking head type situation. So I'm not worried about stabilization, but I wanted you all to know that I'm very impressed with the image stabilization on this camera. I also wanted to apologize for some of the video in here because I was using the microphone and I didn't turn my microphone volume level down, so it was spiking quite a bit. Now, when I edited all my videos, I did try to cut that down in volume, but you can tell every once in a while where it peaks and it makes a really harsh sound. One of the bad things about this camera is when you do plug a microphone into it, you don't get microphone controls like you get with like my Canon, or if you get or a Sony camera or something like that, where you can go in there and it has a little microphone level, and you can say audio test 1 2 3, and and drop your levels down to a good level. This camera only has on or off. And yes, you can get in there and turn that level down a little bit, but you're turning everything down. It's hard to explain. But I am still glad that Akaso gives us that opportunity to use an external microphone. That's freaking awesome. Now, of course, that is, you have to use their proprietary microphone, which I'm using right now. But at least they're not trying to make a major profit off of it. It costs $9.95. I'll put a link in the video description below. You can pick them up on Amazon. And this is the only one of Akaso's cameras that allows for you to plug in that microphone. But Akaso, please, on your next update you make to this awesome camera, throw a 3.5mm headphone jack in there. It's not going to do anything to degrade, or detract from your waterproofness of the camera, because the camera's not waterproof unless you put it in its case. And if you put it in its case, you can't use an external microphone in it anyways. So, you see what I'm saying? Give us a 3.5mm headphone jack. That way we can use really good microphones in there, like my Rode video mic and so on. So that's pretty much all I have on this video. The next video I'm going to do on this camera is I'm going to go in depth and show you all the settings in it. I know that's probably not a very interesting video for a lot of you out there, but those of you that are thinking about buying this camera right here, you guys want to know what the settings are like, what all you can change, what you can't change, and so on. So I want to give myself another couple of weeks to get used to the camera, and when I am, I will definitely do another video and show you guys all of the different settings in it, and we'll go through all of that. So I just want to thank you all again for watching, and remember, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, think about subscribing. And if you subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell icon down below. That way you guys get notified of any videos that I release as soon as I release them. I just want to thank you all again for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.